Good morning, students. Today I will explain the fundamental concept. Now, in the previous class, I have given a PDF. I told you to study it. Now, as you can see, the statistics contents or statistics applied on some collected data. Okay. Now, there are two kind of data available. One kind only represents the qualitative character. Qualitative character mean which cannot be measured by a numerical number, which are called the attributes. And the second part is variables. Variables represents a character which can be expressed numerically and can be counted or measured by some units. Okay, so variables are the quantitative character and attributes are qualitative character. Okay, now after that you have seen the uses of statistics and how to collect the data, the direct indirect method. Now these are not important, these are the just to clear your concept. Okay, now today I'll start with the variables, now which we will use to measure the statistical accuracy and estimated some values to some extended part. Okay, now variable can be two types of variable available. One is discrete. Okay, so variables two types of variables available. One is discrete and other is continuous variable. Now discrete variable are the values which only available on some isolated points in the given range or given range of data. Okay, isolated point means it can take only some isolated values, as if we given a range that 1 to 10, then the values 2, 4, 6, 8, if these values are available, then these are the isolated, these are the discrete values. Okay, so if we consider a variable x can takes the number between 1 to 10, then if x is equals to 2 or 4 or 6 or 8, then x is called the discrete variables. Okay, now next, the continuous variable means if a variable or a character, values of a character can take any values in its given range, such as if we say y be a variable corresponding to a certain character, then if y can takes any value from 1 to 10, the number between 1 to 10 is infinite, so y can takes any values between this 1 and 10. Okay, then y will be called a continuous variable. As an example, we can say the discrete variable, we can say the number of members of a family, of 10 families. Okay, so if there is a range that the maximum member can be 1 and the maximum member can be 10 and minimum member can be 1, then the families of member of 10 can be as follows. Okay, such as first family contain 2 member, second family contain 3 member, third family contain 4 member, fourth family contain 2 member, fifth family contain 7 member, and continuously. Okay, so we see that the x, variable x, corresponding to the number of members, then x can take values 2, 3, 4, 2, 7 and up to 10 times, such that whatever be the values. So x is only contain the values 2, 3, 4, 2, 7 and up to. So x is available for some isolated values. Okay, now so this is a discrete variables. Now for continuous variable, if we take an example as the number the height of the students of become first semester classes. Okay, if I give a range that, or the values of the weight, values of the height in between the result 150 semi to 160 semi. Okay, if we find the values of y represents the height of the students, then y can take any values from 150 to 160, as we are measuring the interval that the height can lies between 150 to 160. Okay, so the values of a students can be the height of a students can be 150.1, another can be 151.2, another can be 152.71 semi. Okay, so the height of the students can take any values between 150 to 160. So that's why y is a continuous variable. Okay, so there are two variables, one is discrete, one is continuous. Now next, frequency distribution. So after we divided the variables in two parts, now frequency distribution for discrete variable and frequency distribution for continuous variable. Frequency means when one values can occur many times. Okay, if for a discrete variable the one value can occur more than 1 or 2 times, then the distribution of the values into the frequencies is called the frequency distribution for discrete variable. Now as you can see, if I complete this part by an example, let's see 6 family contain 8 members, 7 family contain 1 member, 8 family contain 3 member, 9th family contain 4 member, and 10 family contain, let's say, 7 member. Then we see that the first family and third family, fourth family contain same members. Okay, so the values for x, which is x equals to 2, occurs 2 times. Also we see that x equals to 3 occurs 2 times, x equals to 7 occurs 2 times, and etc. So we see that x can take values 2, 3 in this distribution, 2, 3, 4, 7 and 8, and also 1, right, where 1 occur only 1 time, 2 occurs only 2 times, 3 occur 2 times, 4 occur 2 times, 7 occur 2 times, 8 occurs 1 time. So there are total 10 frequencies. Okay, so corresponding to 1, the frequency of value x equals to 1 is 1, frequency of x equals to 2 is 2. So if we arrange this, and this is the tabulation form which I will explain later. Okay, if we arrange these variables in ascending order 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, so corresponding frequencies are f 1 2 2 2 2 1. So total frequency is 10. This is called the number of observation, okay, which is the total frequency, and these are the values we find. Okay, so this is called the frequency distribution for discrete variable. Now for continuous variable, as continuous variable cannot take any values in its range, but we cannot define its range in cannot define the values of the variable in its range. So for the continuous variable, the frequency must be calculated as in its range, right? So for continuous variable, there will be a classes. The variable will be divided into small classes with its step length. Okay, if I give an example, as let the numbers obtained in an exam of mathematics by the students of become first year students. Okay, so let's say there are total 50 students, right? Now the students can obtain the numbers, and let's say maximum numbers of the exam is 50, right? So if we take a variable x, which is the number of numbers obtained by the student, then x can take values between 0 to 50, any one of the numbers 0 to 50. If we calculate it as an individual students, then we can find a discrete values. But if we consider a interval, let's say 0 to 10, the values between 0 to 10, that is the in this part the students who get a number between 0 to 10. Okay, let's say 2 students get 0 to 10, again 10 to 20, let's say 3 student, 20 to 30, let's say 20 student, 30 to 40, 10 students, okay, and 40 to 50 other students, that is then 50. Okay, then this total distribution is named as the frequency distribution for the continuous variable, right? As the continuous variable cannot take any values, we cannot define any values between them, so we take the intervals for the given distribution. If we can arrange this data in this manner for a continuous variable, then this continuous distribution is called the frequency distribution for the continuous variable. Now later we will see that this is called group frequency distribution and this is called simple frequency distribution. Okay, so we see that for discrete variable we will get simple frequency distribution, and for the continuous variable we will get grouped frequency distribution. Okay, so there are total 3 types of distribution we will get. One is simple distribution, which is when the values of a discrete variable does not repeat. Okay, for 10 observant there will be 10 values, okay, which can be taken as x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 up to let's say n observation, so we will get n values. Let's say n observation, we will get n values. Now remember that this data we will always arrange the data in the either ascending order or descending order. Ascending order means small to large form and descending order means large to small form. We will always prefer the ascending order. So whenever a data is given for the simple distribution, we will arrange the data first. We will arrange the data in ascending form. Okay. And next, simple frequency distribution. Simple frequency distribution. And thirdly, grouped frequency distribution. Okay. So we will whatever be the statistical data we will find, we can be formulate this data in any other three forms. Okay. Now these are the tabulation form, right? This is the presentation. We can present the data in any one of these form. If the values is discrete, then we can form as either simple distribution or simple frequency distribution, and if the values is continuous, then we will get a group frequency distribution. Okay. Now after before I get to the presentation of data, graphs and charts, first we will get a concept which is cumulative frequency or cumulative frequency. ठीक है, cumulative frequency. Now cumulative frequency mean whenever we add this frequency in corresponding forms, either low to high or high to low, then there will be two cumulative frequency. One is less than type and second is more than type. Now less than type frequency represents, let's say, this distribution, which is 1 1, this distribution, simple frequency distribution. The cumulative frequency occurs only when there is a frequency distribution. Okay. Now for this data, if I now for the values x, we get a frequency 1. So only one of the observant get a value x. So this will be 1. If I add this 1 and 2 and written in this form 3, then this is called the cumulative frequency, and which there is total 3 cumulative frequency, right? There is total 3 frequency. Now one of them is the frequency number 1. Thus these 3 frequency will get either the value 2 or the value 1. So if I asked that the number of frequency who gets the value 1 or 2, then we will get the total number 3. Okay. Now next part, if we add this 3 and 2, we will get 5. Okay. So up to these values, the total frequency is 5. That is, the number of frequency who get 1 or 2 or 3 values is total number of 5. Okay. And similar way, we will get 5 to 2 7, 7 to 2 9, and 9 to 2 10. So total number of frequency 10 who get either one of these values. If I said the total number of frequency who get either 4 or less than 4, then total number of frequency will be 7. So this type of cumulative frequency is called less than type cumulative frequency. Okay. Now for more than type, we will start from the total frequency. Now total frequency 10. Okay. So total frequency 10. Now we will subtract the frequency from the below of the total frequency, which is 10 minus 2, which is 8. Now next 8 minus 2, which is 6. 6 minus 2, which is 10 minus 1, this will be 9. 9 minus 2, which will be 7. 7 minus 2, which will be 5. 5 minus 2, which will be 3. 3 minus 2, which will be 1. Okay, so less than type cumulative frequency and more than type cumulative frequency are key, are vice versa, right? So when we start from the more total number of frequency and subtracting the frequency from these values and calculated it from to the minimum, we will get the more than type cumulative frequency. Okay, similar for the group frequency distribution. Okay, also when a group frequency distribution is calculated, so for group frequency distribution, now for simple frequency distribution, we get the exact value of x of the variable, right? We get the exact values of the variable 1 2 3 4 5 6 something. Now for group frequency distribution, we will always remember the interval must be continuous. That is, for an interval, this interval 0 will be the lower bound and 10 will be the upper bound. Now for the second interval, consecutive second interval, the lower bound of the second interval must be 10 and upper interval must be 20, and similar ways the other intervals will be, right? If there is a gap, then we have to rearrange. These are the upper bound and lower bound. So for the boundaries values, we have to rearrange the upper bound and lower bound to make it continuous intervals. Okay, now as an example, we can say that let's say there is an example such as 1 10 11 to 20 21 to 30 31 to 40. Okay, and there is a frequency also, let's say 1 3 5 2. Okay, this is F and this is class interval. Now we see that in this part, these are not the continuous intervals, right? This is not the continuous interval. So we make it continuous as by the distance. What is the distance between the first interval and second interval? This is 10 and 11, which is 1. We take the average. Now first, second, so average is half, which is 0.5. So we add 0.5. Now for the class boundary, we add 0.5 to the upper part of the interval, of the first interval, and lower part of the second interval. So we get 1 to 10.5. Now this is 0.5, that means 10.5 minus 19.5, 20.5, and this is 20.5 to 30.5, this is 30.5 to 40. Okay, so these are the class boundary. So when we take a class boundary of this interval 1 to 10, the boundary, upper boundary will be 10.5, lower boundary will be 1. This is 10.5 lower boundary and 20.5 is the upper boundary. Okay, so for class interval we will get this interval to make it continuous. Now again, as the group frequency distribution cannot take any values, for group frequency distribution the values are not exact values. So for we get a class marks, we take the class marks to calculate or estimate the measurements. Okay, what are the class marks? Class marks are the middle term বা mid values of the each interval. So for this interval the mid values is 5, for this interval mid values is 15, for this interval mid value is 25, right? 25 and 35. Okay, so for class interval we can take the mid values as the class marks, which will be calculated as xi's. Okay, and for cumulative frequency we take 1, 4, 9 and 11. Okay, so 11 is the total number of frequencies for the class interval. So in this way we can form the table of the given distribution, okay, which will be required to calculate the following the measurement such as mean, median, mode, after that dispersion, then moment, kurtosis, skewness. Okay, now this is that's it for today. The next class I will explain the presentations which are important for your exam. Okay, so I will be sending a PDF. Study it, you will understand it. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.